off the table. Notably, Yuumi is still available if either side wants to grab it. We have seen TSM multiple times now run the Yuumi Lucian bot lane, and they have won every time they've gone with that strategy. So we'll see if they're going to be looking to grab it up.
Yeah, they have 3 picks Lucian for Zven, 3 picks Yuumi for Smoothie. So you can see those running side by side. There is possibly the lock-in 400 Thieves as they want the cat book. Start doing the damage in the bottom lane. Final chapter is so good once you get the fight phase as well, where TSM loves to be strong and does have good strength to bring to the game.
Yeah, certainly the case. If you're expecting TSM to try to go late, grabbing something like Yuumi Sivir, very strong laning duo, and also scales incredibly well towards the later stages of the game. Yuumi paired alongside Sivir, who is extremely meta right now. You have that Yuumi Q that actually slows down your opponents and then makes it very easy for the Boomerang Blade to connect. For that harass, you also have really high amounts of push. They will not be grabbing up the Sivir just yet, though, so going to be focused on those solo lanes. Aatrox.
Also good into Yuumi.
Certainly can be. So Sivir and Nautilus. So Nautilus often considered a strong answer to Yuumi. I won't say counter because Yuumi can still do these things with, alongside the ADC, go triple defensive summoners where the AD takes barrier, Yuumi takes heal exhaust, and then becomes very difficult to all in. But Nautilus point and click CC, you can dive in and try to pull off these all-ins on that duo, especially if you're bringing down your jungler. If Yuumi is ever separated from her bot laner, then you certainly can burst down and actually knock down this cat who is very, very squishy.
So Xayah taken as well.
Interesting.
Be pretty good. Bang does love him some Xayah, so he should be able to put out some damage on that, but also have a safe lane going up against the engages of a Nautilus walking forward into those feathers. Seeing here for our second phase of bans come out, just a few more seconds for each team to consider before they start throwing those bans. And there's a Zillion at Bjergsen.
Yeah, so Zillion certainly has been a fairly important pick for Bjergsen. Was using it a lot more towards the start of the season. He's actually 2-0 on it in summer. They used it quite a bit, I believe, with Hecarim and those sorts of picks. The Xayah, I think, is a pretty good answer because anytime you're looking at Nautilus, looking at Sejuani, those are CCs that are so long and so powerful, but they're fairly easy to actually react to.
You can read it.
There is a pretty big travel time as far as that Nautilus ultimate in particular goes, so you should be able to react to that with the Xayah ultimate, avoid some of that CC, and then use that Yuumi ultimate final chapter to actually be able to turn that around and look to kind of have that counter engage power.
Great ability to dodge in and out of the 2 big engages. You can see TSM already putting this death ball composition together. Not the Braum in the bot lane, but it's the Nautilus, just as good if you want to get those engages in.
And we want to find out now, is TSM going to be going for some more proactive solo lanes? Because, so far it's really scaling here, with the Sivir, with the Sejuani. Are they going to be sitting back looking for something like an Azir once more? Or is it going to be more aggressive mid and top, things along the lines of the LeBlanc, things along the lines of even the Aurelia perhaps? You kind of want to see them going for some sort of early game power and not just purely depending on 100 Thieves to not be able to create advantages for themselves.
TSM is with those final 3 bans that I see. They obviously flex into the second phase, just disrupting everything 100 Thieves can get on initiations. Big ults, big shock and awe moments. And we'll see what TSM wants to throw at them with those bans.
And this is very interesting, actually, that the 100 Thieves are going to leave, it looks like their jungle pick for last, unless they are swapping the Aatrox into the jungle and then going to have FakeGod as him having the last pick. Almost always you'll see teams saving their last pick for a solo laner here. But in this case, it could be a jungle pick for Amazing, and you would be thinking that it has to be something special for you to save that jungle pick for last. That would be dependent upon the comp that is actually going to be locked in here. Assuming this is Aatrox top, that will be the GP matchup there for Broken Blade. Again, very heavy scaling options here. Corki, another really heavy scaling. So this does really look like all-in focus on late game once again here for TSM. This is scaling across the map, and it will set them up well to target that bottom lane, though, with the GP ult, with package roams here from Corki, and some really strong engage from their jungle support duo.
Good look at Trundle here. You'd be able to steal from Sejuani. You also get a tank if Aatrox already is not slotting in for Amazing. Remember how outspoken he was and how big of a veteran voice he is for the team. They do go for that Trundle, which means the Aatrox is going top lane. Trundle will be a second pickup on that champion here. And as you were saying, he's aggressive. That Olaf, he could have played as well, but his 2 others are banned out in the Skarner and the Jarvan there. The Gragas doesn't go with the Yasuo. So we'll see if Amazing can do that once again.
Yeah, pretty interesting to actually see them saving that Trundle for last pick. it seems to me that they're just worried Azir would get taken away by Bjergsen. So, instead of actually prioritizing a counter pick, they do end up just kind of grabbing that over. But, the one thing that is a little bit troubling with the 100 Thieves draft is you're here on the red side, you got no counter picks whatsoever. Both your solo lanes were blind picked. You had the answer to the Yuumi in the Sivir, that was taken away, the Nautilus as well. So TSM basically got to have a choice for every single matchup across the board, and that is generally considered to be the red side advantage. So we'll see if 100 Thieves have gotten themselves just powerful enough picks that the lane matchups don't matter as much, or if TSM will kind of be able to sit in this comfort zone and just scale up.
But does 100 Thieves say, we wanted you to take Sivir? We want Which game is being played, Azael? We'll find out heading into game 3 here. TSM versus 100 Thieves. The 5-3 versus 3-5. As we're starting to get to that roundabout point of the split and see who can start that back half on the right foot. We're about to get into the Rift and see if 100 Thieves can continue that big win streak.
Yeah, going to be a big question for them, and also, finding out if TSM are going to look clean coming out of Rift Rivals. Certainly are not looking to play a more fast-paced game, at least as far as the composition is concerned, but TSM still could certainly make the move to try to play aggressive in these early stages, despite the fact that they do have a lot of scaling. But really, looking across the map, this does look like an all-in late game sort of style. One of the adaptations pretty cool here. You can see Akaadian has actually gone Hail of Blades on the Sejuani. This is very much about the kind of interactions between Trundle and the Sejuani.
Yeah.
Sejuani does have that armor passive, Fury of the North, where if you have your Aftershock proc plus that and Trundle ults you, you can actually go into negative resistances as a Sejuani and becoming extremely squishy while making the Trundle that much more powerful. This will mean Sejuani is a little bit less tanky in the fights without the Aftershock, but likewise, Amazing won't have as good of a target to actually ultimate with that Trundle. And Hail of Blades makes you better in the early skirmishing in the 1v1s because you can actually proc your passive a lot faster with those 3 quick autos.
Hopefully he'll be able to steal that Smoothie passes, or Smoothie resistances later, I should say. And once we get to that point, we're watching Bjergsen and Ryu in the mid lane, the Azir Corki. We've seen a little bit more Corki, these wave clear mids, keep themselves safe, and they can get to that fighting phase and have quite an impact. We don't usually see Corki that often, but when he do, he can definitely put some wild plays on the Rift, and it's very unexpected when he does. Kind of just blows somebody up from 100 to 0 unexpectedly.
Yeah, I mean, Corki in that late game especially, once you can actually hit kind of that 3-item power mark, when you have Triforce, IE, and then perhaps a Rapid Fire, those Triforce Rapid Fire crits are pretty insane. So, Rocket plus an auto crit can mean a lot of health is missing from someone very, very early on. And Akaadian looking like he's looking for that level 2 gank. So they are trying to be very proactive here with this. But this was warded out very early. So we'll see if 100 Thieves are going to back off and kind of sniff this out. Should be spotted on the ward just now if he hasn't been already.
I like the 2 feathers to the left. Flash forward. Oh, it's Aphromoo could take him down. First blood's going to be in. They don't even have to lock him down with Akaadian. I was waiting to see if Afro would actually get that exhaust down, but he does not. Just goes for the heal and could not get to bang. And TSM looking good to start. Yeah,
this is a great gank from TSM. This is actually taken right out of the Origin playbook. This is what Origin did to them at Rift Rivals. Yeah. It was actually Smoothie, I believe, getting killed on that Yuumi at level 1 when Cold did this red to bot side gank with the Hail of Blade Sejuani. It's basically exactly what happened to them. There's those learning those lessons. And this is something that you do love to see, despite the fact that it is the scaling jungler. They're going to go for this very aggressive play. I would have thought he would be spotted earlier, but I guess he's just out of range of that vision from the ward. But then the flash hook pulls him out of the Yuumi W. So Aphromoo was actually trying to W back to bang, but this did get changed a little bit ago, where you can actually be pulled out of that. You can be interrupted on your kind of W where you're connecting to your teammate. And just a really well-timed hook there from Smoothie grabs Aphromoo and gets them that first blood. But the cost is certainly that Amazing has been farming during all this time. You can see 16 CS to the 5.
Yeah.
And he should be able to have priority on this Scuttle. He is up a level, so does put Akaadian back a little bit as far as the experience goes, but having the benefit of that first blood is going to feel really good.
Absolutely, and it is a considerable change for Yuumi players. You could bait those hooks out, steal the hook, and deny it, almost Tom Kenching yourself. So having to play that in such a different way We'll have to see if Aphromu's positioning changes just a little bit. He wasn't really out of position there. Smoothie did flash forward to get it, but it won't happen the same way 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, they even had the early ward in the river, but you can see the power of that Nautilus engage and the flash Sejuani as well, you know, getting in there for a lot of early damage. And up here on the top side, FakeGod certainly winning out pretty heavily in these trades, but the wave is pushing away from him, and he doesn't know where Sejuani is, so this is why he's kind of looking a little bit hesitant, right? He wants to actually get this wave in and reset that wave before he goes back to base, so he doesn't have all the CS actually just getting wasted away.
Look at that barrel gold. Broken Blade doing as much as he can with the single barrels that are kind of on cooldown to slow the minion wave from reaching the turret, but it will crash. And FakeGod will have a moment here. I don't think, as he said, he knows where Akaadian is just yet, but it's about full clear time coming up for the jungler, so figures that they're busy. Good damage onto Aphromoo. Doesn't have that heal to come up, but the exhaust is used now, and they're going to get back onto Smoothie for the kill. And they trade one back over to Bang. A lot of action in the bot lane is Amazing now makes an entrance down here to help out.
Yeah, this is a really nice move from Amazing. You know Smoothie has no flash because of that level 1 play that he made. So you get in there with the Trundle Pillar, and a flashless Nautilus is going to be easy pickings. TSM, though, almost did trade back some kills. They got Bang and Aphromoo very low here, and here is Smoothie coming down. They walk right over towards him. Aphromoo is the target, kind of getting shredded down here very, very quickly. They decide to try to turn from the kill, knowing they're not going to be able to walk out and get away here from Amazing. But Bang and Aphro just barely able to survive, and they do trade 1 kill back. And critically, this one goes on to Bang. This was not actually taken by the jungler, so will help to affect that 2v2 more than that first gank did from Akaadian.
I think that little cheeky bite by Amazing on the way out too denies Zven some damage, so he can stay healthy if he did want to return to the jungle. Onto the Scuttle Crab right now. It's going to be a lot of hovering on that bot side. FakeGod and Broken Blade will just be 1v1ing for a while. Looks like Bjergsen and Ryu won't get too much attention either. Ryu has teleported back to lane. Just some attack speed, another Doran's Ring for him as Bjergsen continues to farm.
And you can see Broken Blade going a pretty kind of scrappy build here early on, grabbing quite a bit of HP up with that Doran's Blade as well as the Ruby Crystal. He knows that really anytime you're playing GP with Grasp into a melee matchup, if the opponent cannot actually all-in you, you can just kind of grind them down, and you can start to deny the wave from them just with these constant Q harassment and Grasp procs. And it is 100 Thieves now starting up this dragon.
Gotta be careful. Bang gets hit up first. Smoothie's now in. Boomerang comes back, and they're able to get it. Zven picks up one. Amazing looking low. Hits the blast cone to get the safety. Not one over the walls. The cooldown for Q's not back up for the Sivir. They get out with only Bang's life going away. It looks like they'll be able to reset off of that.
Yeah, very scrappy early game here already. 100 Thieves committing to a very early dragon. It's pretty rare, honestly, to see people going that hard for that early win dragon. Usually the only time you're going to see people commit that early is for, you know, an Ocean or perhaps even an Infernal if your comp really calls for it. But they feel like they have priority on the bottom side. They can go for this. And note, it's on a ward. I'm not sure if they just actually didn't spot that or if they were just comfortable to do it right in their opponent's face. But GP has 6. They drop the ultimate. A great engage here from Smoothie. Aphromoo would have wanted to be the one to tank that up and then try to retreat back to Bang.
Yeah.
Instead, it is actually Bang getting caught with that. He doesn't have flash. He's not 6 for the ultimate to avoid, so does get taken down.
A lot of action used. We usually don't see teams continuously going back at these down flashes, down summoners. It's kind of things go to the wayside. There wasn't vision there. We couldn't return. Now they are just punishing over and over. More agency towards the bot lane for TSM. Plates and possibly a dive.
Yeah, I mean, they have 4-man bot here. They're actually trying to punish this 100 Thieves bottom lane before Bang can get 6. But you can see that 100 Thieves was rotating to actually protect them, moving over towards this blue buff so they feel comfortable to get back in there and start picking up this farm. So blue buff donated over to Ryu. Bjergsen will go back to base, and farming will continue here in the mid lane. 2 of these really powerful scaling mid laners, and it's kind of just been an island up here for these top laners, scrapping back and forth while all the action has been around that bottom lane.
Thing is, Broken Blade has that upper hand. If he wants to stay and play up here, he can eat a few oranges. I hope he'll be okay for that, or he hopes he'll be okay. And then cannon barrage the rest of the map. Well, he keeps FakeGod in this position.
Exactly. That's really all you want to do as GP. If you're farming evenly and just ulting bot lane on cooldown, you're going to be feeling really good about that. FakeGod, though, has been very good at hitting those sweet spots with his Qs, you know, getting that trade damage, because this is kind of the first time you force GP back to base, he'll just TP back. You're not getting a lot out of it. It's actually the second base that becomes so important, and That was actually really cute, using the dash for the auto reset to get 2 hits on the barrel and deny it, because Broken Blade would have picked up a lot of passive gold with that barrel kill on that backline wave. So, you know, if he can send him back to base one more time, now there's going to be no TP available for Broken Blade. He may lose a turret plate. He may lose a little bit of farm here, and this is where you can start to actually establish a bit of an advantage for FakeGod. So he will stick around, grab a turret plate for himself, and start to get more of an edge in that matchup. Just needs to actually walk up, tag the turret, because if he based there, even though he's in range, he wouldn't have had, you know, the assist on that turret, so he would not have gotten the turret plate from those minions.
Great job by FakeGod on that top side. 500 gold in the lead, basically sitting in his pocket that he just spent. As he gets back to lane, doesn't even have to teleport. With a lane push, it's a long walk, but he's happy to take it here with the lane advantage he can call. Broken Blade is returning. Maybe get some forward wards down. Got Rift Herald coming up soon with a Mountain Drake, which might grab a little more attention.
Yeah, certainly could. You know, if either of these teams are feeling like, you know, Baron is going to be a big win condition, grabbing that early Earth Dragon can be very, very powerful. Certainly both these teams have pretty strong Baron take, honestly. You know, double marksman on the side of TSM. Anytime you do have Azir, Azir is incredibly quick at actually burning down that Baron. And Akaadian could potentially get collapsed on here. Not sure that he's been spotted, but amazing heading down that direction. But TSM's bot lane is going to push to keep them off.
Final chapter on to Zven. Like that shield is down for him. A few more feathers. He's gonna get swept off his feet. That's gonna be a kill coming in for Bang. He's probably gonna go down in a 2v1 now, and that's gonna be a big kill coming up for Smoothie as he puts him in the blender. This is a big one for Amazing. Can he get a return kill? He can. Now the triple for the Nautilus in the bot. Now FakeGod's gonna be going on a Broken Blade. No assist here. Oh, he missed his own Q. Baited himself out of the turret, but Broken Blade cannot return fire just yet. And FakeGod saves himself from a mistake.
Yeah, FakeGod, though, spending the flash in that failed all-in, and meanwhile on the bottom side, the support Nautilus with the triple kill there. Smoothie getting so much out of that one, but I'm honestly really surprised that 100 Thieves decided to go for that all-in on the bottom side, knowing that Akaadian was closer. They had seen Akaadian on the ward. They know he is closer to this play, and you know that Corki has package, and there's GP ultimate. They really are kind of disrespecting a lot of the power from TSM. Still, pretty good all-in here. They do take down Zven, but everyone is so low HP. Akaadian arrives to the scene more quickly. The GP ultimate had softened them up, and then that package. Yeah, Akaadian didn't even need that one. He's just gonna throw that one away. The package arrives here from Bjergsen. Triple kill for Smoothie. Probably could have donated the last one over.
Yeah, it feels good, but then you're like, actually,
this is mine.
Could have felt better,
I
but
earned this.
It's still okay. 3-1-2. Great job by Nautilus. He'll be huge. Hopefully not big enough for Amazing to be stealing those resistances. He doesn't want to be his own enemy at this point. 300 gold bounty on him. We may see even more action in the bot lane for that to be picked up. Bang is doing pretty well for himself with the aggression and attacks on the bot side. He must be careful, though, with flash down once again. There's that hail of blades coming into work. Akaadian felt like he had a real good fight there. Slowed down by the pillar. Bjergsen just in. There's a TP. Is this going to be FakeGod? He's coming in from the base. Didn't even need to get to lane just yet and misses the chains. The last Q as Bjergsen gets himself to safety with his own flash.
Yeah, Bjergsen having a flash out of that chain. So not a bad TP here from FakeGod. And we will go into a pause. Hopefully this one will be resolved quickly. We'll let you know as soon as we find out exactly what the issue is.
It's a little reminiscent of that because it is the best snowball objective in the game right now. It's a lot more difficult to snowball with Dragon.
Well, as we talk wider strategy, the teams have ready checked and as you can see are back into game. So we're throwing it back out to the battle arena. Riv, take it away.
Thank you very much. We are back into the action and the players are ready to get going. As we see, they're already back to CSing. Figuring out what the best place on the map for wards are.
It's always a good thing to figure out.
It's amazing to watch. No, but really, we're back in 12.5 minutes here, 5-3, as TSM had quite a bit of action in that bot lane. We were talking about Smoothie's kills just a bit ago. Let's see if they can start to spread that pressure around the map. We think that may actually start to turn into what becomes this Mountain Drake fight.
Yeah, definitely the case. We'll see if TSM want to try to grab that up. They are certainly a team that is going to have a very, very powerful late game, and now starting to set up in the 100 Thieves jungle, taking away this blue buff, denying that from the Azir.
Feels good.
Go back, grab the Scuttle, look towards potentially that Earth Dragon, which would be very, very nice at kind of opening up potential Baron rushes and that sort of play. But you know, TSM is not really on the clock whatsoever. They can afford to play a little bit more slower pace, than even looking to set up potentially a dive here.
Who do they want first? Featherstorm is there. They start to use a few of the ultimates. Final chapter goes out. Bang's getting very low as he gets knocked up and taken down. Aphromoo, one more shot. That's the double kill they wanted on his Zven. Ryu's here to try to pick up the retribution kill as Emperor's Divide knocks back Akaadian. And Bjergsen's over the wall is there on the hunt. Not looking good for Ryu. Does he get one more? Smoothie goes down. And Ryu's able to pick up just a bit of that gold for the whole fight.
Yeah, Ryu able to get one back, but TPing in, flashing, blowing everything to get that support kill, and then going down for it, certainly not worthwhile. Gives up a shutdown as well, and TSM able to pull off yet another play. They will be getting some major gold back here on the top side, though. The Rift Herald was taken during all of that, so the gold remains very close despite the 4-kill lead here. Because of FakeGod's individual lead, because of that first turret going down on that top side, but certainly concerning the fact that Zven got so many of these kills, and he is already on his completed Essence Reaver, has an Executioner's here as well, and there's just no hesitation on this. Blast going over from Akaadian, ult is popped, the GP ultimate goes down, Zven lining them up with the Boomerang Blade here, right across both of these members, Afro and Bang, just getting shredded out. And then Ryu has arrived, but so has Bjergsen, and it's a 4v1 situation here. Ryu plays it pretty well to get the kill on Smoothie, but honestly, I don't think that Smoothie needed to actually even go in for it.
350 bounty.
Yeah, I mean, he could have actually just waited for Akaadian to wrap around and probably gone for that, but felt he wanted to go and grab that kill, and does give over the bounty.
Ryu will feel good about that gold. Just one death for him on that. He'll be able to get back to the mid lane, keep farming it up. About 20 CS behind due to his adventures. Gets hit with the ultimate from Sejuani. Gets himself out with a quick shuffle, though. Here comes the package. Bjergsen to finish. Just a few Raptors in his way, but he gets the tendies, too.
Oh, my God. Bjergsen, the engage rage on that package was just huge.
Coming in for a landing, he definitely found the stripped takedown. Ryu could not take off the safety.
Yeah, I mean,
fortunately, he goes down now for a second kill.
Yeah, Ryu played that pretty well, to be honest. I thought he did a good job to actually get out of there, but there's no escaping that Corki package as, you know, Ryu was running away to the top side of the map. Amazing was coming in from the bottom, so there was no real chance of reinforcement there from the rest of his team. And at the same time, this turret a couple autos away from going down, so Zven will just walk up, knocks that turret down.
Gets himself out safely, even getting locked up for a second. And we'll see from ProV just how this happened. This is Bjergsen's view.
Yeah, and this was just a great engage, honestly, from Akaadian. Nails the ult out of fog, and then the presence of mind to actually think you can go for this. He sees that the trundle is coming up from that bottom side. They know Aatrox could be coming, but if you take down the mid laner, you have an odd number fight regardless. So comfortable to make that package engage, and just really nice stuff here from Bjergsen.
Comfortable in the eyes of danger. 1-0-3 for him.
Really get any sort of kind of turnaround in this game through their playmaking, but it doesn't feel like they have super explosive engage besides perhaps, you know, some sort of Scream of Shuffle engage.
Right.
So we'll see if FakeGod is able to get out on the map and really make anything happen. And you can see he's walking down towards the bottom side now. He's not just heading straight back up to the top lane to match that Gangplank. So he may be trying to get out on the map and make something happen here in these next couple minutes.
I'm trying to think if there could be like a sick Yuumi as your engage, but then you're shoving people back. So somebody's not going to be in the final chapter. You either have your back to the enemy or you get the people in the front. But if the distance you can clear is definitely what Yuumi wants. It's just how can they make it happen. Dump towards that top line. We see Broken Blade and Zven able to take down the turret themselves. We were just talking about Broken Blade a bit ago to take stock of his Serpent coins. He's about 400 coins in. He'll need 500. Probably look for Death's Daughters first. Do a little bit more damage in the center of his cannon barrage. We'll keep track of that as he starts to upgrade a bit. He's 0-0-5, so for being pushed in by FakeGod, he's had a fantastic lane, as we said before.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of one of the benefits that GP does have, right? You can just actually farm safely under your lane, and you pick up those assists just through the ultimate every time. He actually just dropped his ultimate now towards that bottom side, I believe, to clear out a wave.
Yep.
That FakeGod had actually, you know, pushed in there. So now here is Broken looking around that mid lane, but all this wave clear here for TSM is going to make it difficult for them to really push in, and it seems like TSM is just committing to this top side push.
Ooh, nice flash. I think that was a Featherstorm and flash, to be correct. Bang gets himself to safety. Both teams mirroring each other on opposite sides of the map here, so I think 100 Thieves might pull back, however.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous now for Bang to actually stay around, because Nautilus ultimate was not used, so if you walk up, you have no flash, no ulti. Nautilus can just point and click ult you and take you down, so he knows he has to now give up the turret That's 2 turrets down on the top side of the map before 100 Thieves even got anything on the bottom side, thanks to the GP ultimate to clear out that first wave. So FakeGod eventually will trade something back, but again, you're seeing how much more difficult it's going to be to actually push the advantage with the Aatrox compared to that of the Sivir.
And it's hard to stop TSM when they're one step ahead, where they already want to go next, know where they want to go next, rather. Coming out of the base, rapid fire Essence Reavers for Zven. He picked up that Executioner's Call very early, even before the rapid fire was starting to get built up. So he knows the danger of health regeneration on the team he is fighting in 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually a really intelligent buy and one that's often overlooked by pro players. This is an 800 gold investment here. You're still getting 15 AD, so it's essentially 1.5 longswords worth of AD. And the Grievous Wounds is actually very powerful against the Trundle ultimate. There's a massive amount of healing there. Yuumi, the Zoomies is healing nonstop. You also have to remember that Aatrox in his ulted form has a tremendous amount of amped healing. When you actually pop that ultimate, you're healing for so much of the damage, 55% amp on that. So you're actually cutting down a ton of that self-healing, and you're ricocheting it across all of these different members and reducing multiple sources.
Hard to do that as really any other bot lane AD. Ricochet is a big help there. Ricochet activated, get it more attack speed. Sivir's all around, just fantastic. You gotta love her. 3-1-5, 200 bounty on Zven's head. He's feeling pretty good this game. His Broken Blade looks clear top side here from FakeGod. Shouldn't have too much trouble as they go back and forth. You see Broken Blade feeling much better about taking this 1v1 now. Ultimate thrown down by FakeGod. Broken's gonna chase a bit as he throws down Cannon Barrage. A little close for him as FakeGod will be able to get out. But he is just playing the minion wave right now. One barrel down, but he wasn't able to place a second. Now looking good as Broken Blade flashes. Both teams are here as the cavalry arrives. And Akaadian says he's about all in, pedal to the metal. Where's the rest of them? Sven's the only one behind him. On the Hunt's already been used, so they have that movement speed used up. And Final Chapter is gonna close that one.
Yeah, Akaadian goes for the flash, but doesn't actually expend his ult. He might have been able to drop that ultimate over onto FakeGod, but is able to slide out of the way of that Q flash and ends up being a positive trade there for 100 Thieves as far as the summoners go, but Bjergsen getting so much damage on this turret, he's just going to take it down.
Yikes, do not leave the Corki alone. That becomes very scary for any objectives on the map. 20 minutes just crossed as well, so Baron has peeked his head out of river. We'll have everybody going towards the bottom side of the map. It looks like to put up a little bit of vision here. They can clear everything out and keep FakeGod safe as he farms that bot side and the team can focus the rest of the map.
Yeah, they definitely need to be keeping him in aggressive position, but even just the fact that they're kind of trading cooldowns there, as FakeGod misses a couple of Qs, Broken Blade feels he can go aggressive and actually start to really chase him down. And we do see double Mountain Dragon now on TSM. Is going to give them the opportunity to really burn down that Baron if 100 Thieves are ever really not paying enough attention to it or keeping vision on it. You can see all the emphasis kind of on wards in this area now, 400 Thieves. It's not really any deep vision at this point, right? They have a couple defensive wards here. This is about as far forward as their kind of vision line gets, as it's been TSM with full control of that river. So 100 Thieves are trying to remedy this. They bring 5-man mid, they shove up the wave, and that will give them access to the river so they can now move up towards the Baron area and clear out some of this vision.
Yeah, they have to do it in numbers. You're playing against a team of TSM that can reposition in an instant and slow you from across the map. You could have a package come right across your front line along with that cannon barrage, and then nobody really knows how to disperse to restart the fight.
Yeah, exactly. And who's going to be the guy to really face check on your team, right? Yes, amazing, I guess, but even if it's him, that's your tankiest member. If he face checks into a couple of these marksmen, plus a tank, he's going to get locked down long enough for them to actually burst him out. And now it is TSM going down to the bot side.
Oh, they're going to be able to get the ult off there. FakeGod throws out World Ender, but he's not going to end anyone under the turret. He goes down. The turret will follow very fast, and TSM is making quick work of each lane they go to.
Yeah, they're getting that first kill now onto FakeGod. Every time the ultimate is up here from Broken Blade, it feels like TSM is ready to make a play, is ready to drop that ultimate and try to get something going. And they are very effective at doing that. Rotating back and forth across the map. TSM really were the ones to kind of have vision in this side of the jungle. You can see not a single 100 Thieves ward in that highlighted quadrant. So that allowed them to take the pressure from mid lane, run straight over to that bot lane turret, and then immediately, no hesitation, dive FakeGod, which didn't give 100 Thieves any time to respond.
And that kind of shows the idea of their intent in reaction to the pressure. They set up, as you pointed out, everything topside, had nothing for the bottom where they were forced to go. Obviously the advantage for TSM, but they're working it so methodically right now. 100 Thieves cannot use any of these wards to stop that snowball. And we'll see if TSM can continue forward here. Pretty aggressive by Akaadian, but he's just going to face check knowing 100 Thieves is on the other side. They have the team fight. They can bring it to 100 Thieves. Bang and Amazing just kind of hang out and look to see if they can get a few bits of damage back and forth, but looks like they're even timid to try.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty difficult for them to actually engage. You know, and if you're just poking Akaadian, he already has a Warmox, so poke is going to be completely shrugged off. As soon as FakeGod shows on the bottom side of the map, he's your strongest member. TSM said, great, we walk in with 5 members. Worst thing that can happen is a 5v4 for them, so they're not going to be scared whatsoever, especially considering the fact that they're in quite an advantage at this point in the game. You can see Triforce Rapid Fire done here for Bjergsen. We already have the SS3 for Rapid Fire, as well as an additional BF and the Executioners on Zven, so these guys are monstrously strong. And as long as they are being protected, TSM are easily going to be winning these team fights.
I like it. Akaadian has 3,032 health. Just made it. Warmogs works.
Calculate.
Make sure you get it. 2, 1, and 6 for him. Nice clip in the jungle. We're both junglers throughout. Amazing's been slotting in very well to the LCS and 100 Thieves. We're at 10-4, and TSM is starting to gain that momentum that they can use to finish the game. Good attack, nice damage on the Bang and Amazing. On the Hunt's not going to take them under the turret just yet without a minion wave, but they are going to be able to aggress enough, maybe to tempt Baron, call 100 Thieves into a position where the fight is not in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, that was Bang actually just TPing back in to that lane, so TSM decides to make it go for it, and they do get Bang's ultimate out as well as the TP. They expend Sivir and GP ultimates, but now FakeGod going to be getting poked a bit here.
Threw down his ultimate, not going to be able to get the reset on that one. Broken Blade as well. Doubling down on that Executioner's calling quite early. Haven't mentioned it just yet, but you can see how much TSM has invested in shutting down the healing and regeneration of 100 Thieves. There, they apply a little bit, and 100 Thieves is going to have to go home to heal that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's really what the front line of 100 Thieves is completely dependent upon, is that self-healing, is all of that added regen that is going to be coming through during the Aatrox and Trundle ultimate. So without that, they are going to be having to play it here pretty safe. So TSM, they force out those 2 ultimates, they push up the mid lane, and that allows them to have access to that Dragon Pit. So another objective there, grab for TSM. And they, again, continue to run the map here. You can see now moving into that river is Smoothie, and he's going to be just clearing out these wards. This back and forth battle will continue, but it does feel like TSM is inching forward and forward, you know, getting more and more ahead here of 100 Thieves.
I've always thought that TSM's gameplay seems very smooth when you get Bjergsen back on something like a LeBlanc, like a Corki. He's in the side lane, he's creating pressure, and the team's always able to kind of orchestrate whatever they need to do accordingly, and then he's back in with the teleport. Seems to work out very well for TSM.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Bjergsen is definitely an excellent Corki player, and you know, in this point of the game, you know, he has a nice advantage. His team is running the map, so there's no real threat of him actually getting picked off in the side lanes a lot of the time. So he's going to be maximizing his farm, and you know he's going to be showing up big in the team fights. You know, as he's approaching that 3rd item, and that is kind of what we talked about earlier in the game, is when you do hit that Infinity Edge on top of your Triforce Rapid Fire, the Rapid Fire proc, in addition to the Sheen proc from the Triforce, if you get a crit auto, that alone can put someone out of the fight.
Oh, that hurts. Back spikes. He's okay. Needed a serious shuffle on that one to get out. But this isn't good. 100 Thieves shouldn't be getting toyed with, if you will. TSM knows they have the upper hand, and that was just a small mistake. They're waiting for the slightly bigger mistake, and that's just going to be a champion down for 100 Thieves.
This is actually pretty clever, though. They're trying to go in and clear the wards, but they're going to get picked.
Oh, Ryu back in one more time. Shuffles back in and out, but how much can they do this? They are testing the waters. Broken Blade and Zven trying to move forward on the hunt. Nice barrel shot to Amazing to knock him down a little bit more in preparation for Baron.
Yeah, TSM will just start the Baron up off of that. 100 Thieves still has no vision in the pit. Amazing is walking over, but you have no flash. There's no way he should be able to get entrance into that pit.
Subjugate is up, flash is down. Smoothie's gonna go in, he's not that tanky. Almost takes himself out. 200 HP for the Nautilus. Amazing's gonna be the next one going down. Boomerang comes back and cuts the ankles out from under Amazing as he goes down. 11-4 for TSM now as they grab Baron, and they'll have mid lane.
Yeah, Zven has hit that 3-item Sivir. They are gonna be pushing up here, and 100 Thieves are up against it. These 2 marksmen are by themselves, though, so they have to be a little bit careful here.
Oof. Everybody's testing themselves to the fullest limit here for TSM, pushing a little bit more, and 100 Thieves do not bite back. TSM going to the perfect boundary on that one, and they will head back to base, even if they have another wave. Okay, I thought Zven was going to stay with Smoothie for a second, but here is the Baron once again.
Yeah, and this was just really nice from TSM. They had 100 Thieves kind of poking in with Ryu and Aphromoo to clear out wards. They had seen them do this a few times, so they just actually lay in wait. Akaadian uses the ultimate on Azir when he came in initially. That pushed him back to base and allowed TSM to just go straight onto the Baron. Then you have the situation where Amazing has no flash, Ryu is coming back from base. There was no real chance of 100 Thieves contesting that, especially with the double Mountain Dragon. So now TSM certainly are set up with the gold lead, with all the pieces that they need to actually look to close out this game. And they're going to be pushing in all 3 lanes. You can see the Baron buff minions in top, mid, and bot. It's going to be a full court press here for TSM. We're going to be looking to deal some lethal damage.
What's the best defense? Zone, man-to-man, what do you want?
It's looking for the 5-on-1. You're trying to engage. You're trying to get a pick here.
Just block him out.
Yeah, I mean, it's high school kids against LeBron. You're not going for the man-to-man defense here.
Everybody
You're 2 behind.
Grab his ankles. Do something. Trip him. 29 minutes in. Looks like they have pretty good wave clear with Ryu there. It's going to hurt that they have Baron minions. You don't have Ryu in every lane. Bang can help in that middle lane. Top side's going to be crashing it, but nobody's there to take it just yet. Mid turret's almost taken down, as Ryu's going to be doing a little multitasking here. Which one's the better lane to save? He actually has Yuumi on him, so Aphromoo can keep going faster between lanes. Looks like they may want this one. Cannon Barrage goes down for Broken Blade, just enough to push 100 Thieves off of the turret. And they have a Canyon minion just whacking away at that inhibitor.
Yep, and mid turret goes down at the same time as well. Gonna drop the Azir passive turret, but it'll die before it even spawns. Oof, they are just getting shredded.
Such a cluster of champions, but nobody's fought there. Finally, as Amazing goes down as the tankiest. One final chapter and a few more bits of damage are gonna take down Smoothie. They lose FakeGod right under the Nexus turrets. TSM is making chaos out of 100 Thieves base right now. Flash for flashes, Bang and Bjergsen go toe-to-toe for a moment. First Nexus turret goes down. TSM looking for a 6-3 record here in the summer split, and they're gonna find it by taking the Nexus down. Bang doing what he can to pull the feathers out and give TSM a what for, but he is just gonna hit the floor. TSM have the Nexus. That's a double kill for Bjergsen, and TSM take victory.
They're going for the Nexus
over
dive.
100 Thieves. Man, what a game.
Yeah, TSM able to close that one out pretty quick. 30 minutes, 28 seconds on the clock as the Nexus does fall. And that was a very well-played game from them. So much focus towards the bottom side of the map. They had a lot of scaling, but were still able to find ways to be fairly proactive on the map. You know, utilizing GP ultimate towards the bot side, and this cheeky level 2 gank from the Sejuani, and they just kind of kept the pressure up, despite the fact that FakeGod was able to actually get a pretty decent lead up in that top lane 1v1. It's so hard to actually extend that when the rest of the map is losing, and Gangplank has such solid wave clear. So credit to TSM, good play in the early game, and able to secure that Baron very easily and close out the game.
Absolutely. 100 Thieves, I feel, found the right points to kind of counterattack on TSM. I think TSM really got ahead as well around the map, as you were saying, but coming out of the base, knowing exactly what they're going to do each time, and when, as I said, when they get ahead, that next thing is something you can't counter. You fall farther and farther behind, and they're very good at keeping that pace.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they had kind of all the tools to do that. Multiple forms of engage. With the Nautilus, with the Sejuani, you have the Sivir to speed up your team while slowing down the other team with the GP ultimate. You had tremendous amounts of scaling and mixed damage with the Corki dealing 90% magic damage. The Sivir all physical, and they kind of hit this point in the game where it's just like critical mass, right? You have the IE rapid fire Triforce on your Corki. You have 3.5 items on the Sivir. There was just nothing that 100 Thieves had to really compete at that point. And when you don't have like a hard engaged style of composition, even getting picks on someone split pushing becomes very hard, because what's your hard engage? You walk up, you throw up the trundle pillar, you hope that your Azir can dive in and sweep the whole team back, but Azir can get 2 or 3 shot by the Corki and the Sivir, so good luck doing that.
Yeah, coming out of Champion Select, we talked a little bit about how the Sivir was taken away, then played against Yuumi, not with Yuumi, and how things seemed to kind of fall for TSM, and 100 Thieves then was kind of picking up the pieces. I think we also saw that as the fights kind of panned out, and we saw how they were working, and that trundle not getting the Sejuani. TSM knew what they were doing the whole time. So let's send it down to Pastry now, who's standing by with TSM support.
Thank you very much, Riv. Yes, I'm here with Smoothie from TSM. What a win to kick things off after, I know, a tough Rift Rivals for you personally. What does it feel like to be back winning on the LCS stage?
Well, I mean, G2 definitely challenged us, or all the LEC's teams challenged us a bit harder than LCS teams, just a little bit. But I think that after Rift Rivals, it was a really big wake-up call, and we were definitely not good at the time, but I think slowly we're getting to where we want to be.
And obviously the turnaround time is quite short, but were there any specific things that you and the team were working on kind of coming into this weekend?
I think just expanding our champion pools. I think that all the European teams play such a lot of picks. The champion pools are really huge, and it's just really hard to play against stuff you've never prepared against. So I think that will be a really strong thing that a lot of NA teams will be working on.
And then, of course, tomorrow you are looking to sweep the weekend, as usual, here for TSM. But you're up against CLG, and in particular, you'll play the old TSM support in Bifrost. Are you looking forward to that matchup at all?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really a part of the whole TSM-CLG rivalry when it was like really, intense. It's been like 1,000+ days since they've last won versus TSM. So, I mean, I don't know if it's a rivalry now, but it's always fun to play against CLG.
All right, well, thank you very much, Smoothie. Congratulations on you win today. We are going to throw it back to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much. Pastry time. TSM picking up a win over 100 Thieves here. We had the opportunity to take a look at the game 12 minutes in a paused state, and we were talking about, at that moment, 100 Thieves being on the back foot with the onus of having to make something happen before a certain time in order to come away with the victory. We'll call that 25-ish minutes just based on the scaling. So I want to isolate that 12 to 25 minute period of the game and really identify what, if anything, were 100 Thieves options, how they matched up to those options, and then ultimately how TSM prevailed.
That's a lot.
It's
but
a
we
lot.
can do it.
Dive in. I believe it.
All right, let's
I
do
believe in you.
All right, step one, the Rift Herald. Going for the Rift Herald when your bot lane is getting 3-man dove is unfortunately not really the right play. You want combative options right now for 100 Thieves. You want them to fight you with the Rift Herald. You want to fight them in the bot lane to protect your turret. You don't want to go for trades right now against a team that's going to outscale you, and unfortunately, that's kind of what they got. Yeah, the trading was a big deal. I think the objective control around Dragons was also huge. And losing a kill in the mid lane does lead to losing Dragons quicker than pretty much any other lane, because that mid lane pressure really translates into more. So Bjergsen getting the best out of Ryu is not the best. And this is the matchup that FakeGod was initially winning, which then allowed Akaadian to start influencing. And this, unfortunately, is the power of Sejuani. It doesn't matter that you have Trundle that can counter it. Sejuani just has a much easier time interacting with your lanes, making plays happen around the map, and if you can get that job done, then you never have to worry about getting your resistances absorbed and being weakened. You are always a man ahead. And to be fair, given that they were already roughly 1,000 or 2 goal behind at 10 minutes, that's a really difficult spot to play.
Yes.
And from there, the top lane snowball is your best bet since bot lane's already gone south, but then, TSM with the GP is totally fine to just ignore top lane if they want to. So it is kind of hard to force TSM to fight you with their comp. And that's what happened, 100 Thieves were like, we're doing Rift Herald. TSM was like, okay.
Right.
I don't care.
You were already in a bad spot at that 12-minute mark, so I realized, in asking to isolate the 12 to 25 minutes.
No, it's fun.
Right. It's a fun thought exercise, but then we can also, kind of use that 12 to 25 minutes and understand how difficult it was for them to do it or how bad a spot they were in to re-look at that first 12 minutes and say, okay, then if you were going to draft this composition, how did you need to play in order to be in a better spot at 12 minutes? Again, you did have a winning topside, but 100 Thieves hasn't played around FakeGod as a win condition since he's joined the lineup. Maybe with Someday in the roster, but not with FakeGod.
Exactly. They're a lobster in a boiling pot of water. The only thing they could do is muster up the strength to just somehow just take the lid off, which is something that they've never done before, which is in FakeGod. FakeGod has never been the guy in 100 Thieves that does hard carry, which is why the Rift Herald is even harder to use in the top lane. I know we were saying maybe go to the top lane, but thinking it over, you've never done this before, and this is not a player that is even used to it. His motto is, I lose lane and then win game. Yeah, there are other parts of the map. At some point, you kind of got to learn how to do it, and I don't mind them trying it this game. I just wish, like we already talked a little bit on the draft, I just wish the last phase of their draft was different to get a better mid matchup and one that really works to reuse strengths of playing the map very well. This wasn't it, and Trundle's not great for diving to snowball. Like the whole thing kind of came apart, so I wish they had a little bit more proactivity out of the mid-jungle duo, because that is what seems to be working for 100 Thieves right now, and that's where they actually had the least proactivity.
So if you think about their comp, 100 Thieves, not a single ounce of actual hard CC, just little knock-up from Aatrox. That's about it. There's Pillar, there's Azir wall, and a slow from Yuumi.
Yeah.
That's it. Roots of Xayah, you're still able to use abilities and cast spells, so there's very hard
Maybe
to actually make
draft a little bit more hard CC, make it easier on yourselves. From the TSM perspective, yes, they came away with a win, but how well did they reassure you coming off of Rift Rivals here? Because we talked about them, sure, being a little bit more proactive in the early game, but the picks didn't necessarily align with more aggressive playstyle in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I'm a little torn on this. I know Crumbs is very negative on TSM.
I'm torn.
Oh, you're torn too? Okay, because
yeah.
here's the thing. Akaadian, as much as I think he is the right choice, hasn't really shown it on the LCS stage yet. So I'm happy if you just get some wins under his belt right now, because as much as I was the Elise guy at Rift Rivals. In NA, he's been the one losing all the time, while Grig has been the one picking up wins. So I'm fine with the scaling comp that they played more aggressively. Is it what I want
Step
exactly?
in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's not perfect,
but by week 9, we want to see some more. When we return, it's Golden Guardians opposite Optic Gaming. That was a tough one. I'll meet us back here for Game 4 after this.